The third annual SmallSat Education Conference is returning to Kennedy Space Center. Joining me live in the studio this morning to talk more about the opportunity for students, we have the founders of the conference, Kevin Johnson and Kevin Simmons. Good to see you, Kevins. Welcome this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you, sir.
Yeah, we're so glad that you're here. Talk a little bit about, and we'll start with you, Kevin, about your background in space, and then and I'd love both of you to share sort of this passion and why you want to impart this in young people.
Absolutely. So right now I'm currently a system engineer working for Jacobs out at the Kennedy Space Center, supporting the Artemis mission, which is our returning humans to the lunar surface. And myself, my passion started back in the old days whenever my dad used to launch model rockets out of a small field in western Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's awesome. And then here you are doing it. You're doing that work. What about you?
Well, I started out as a biochemist, and then I worked in industry, but I became a teacher a little over 20 years ago, and I started companies with my students, and eventually I learned about this small class of satellites called SmallSats and thought this is how we need to train our 21st century STEM workforce. So I started a team, and I found a school that was willing to let me prove that middle school students could design, build, test, and fly a satellite. So we launched our first satellite in 2018, and if all goes well today at 219, our third spacecraft will launch from Vandenberg.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, congratulations on that. Let's talk about the conference, because young people are coming in, they're getting exposed to this, as you call it, the small sat. And for somebody who doesn't really know what that is, can you explain that kind of simply to us today?
Absolutely. The small sats themselves are just smaller satellites. So
well, about what size? Would they be like a bowling ball, or are they much larger than that?
I would actually say even smaller than that.
Oh, wow.
So they're just a couple centimeters wide. They come in various varieties that just go up and down in sizes. So they're truly like tabletop-sized satellites that can be launched into space.
Oh, man. And what's the power of something like a small sat? What can that do?
So basically a small satellite, it was actually invented by a fellow named Twiggs, a Professor Twiggs in Stanford 25 years ago to help train graduate students in the time that he had them to design, build, test, and fly. So these small sats, they can do everything a large satellite can do, just on a much more smaller scale.
Yeah.
And you have, of course, less power and smaller power budgets, things like that. They can accomplish remote sensing, science, atmospheric science, astronomy. We've flown a couple of biological payloads.
That's so cool. And that's what this whole conference is about. And it's about to happen here. Who can attend this? Give us a little bit of background on that real quickly here.
Absolutely. Attendance is open to pretty much anyone who's interested. So it ranges from high school students, middle school students, all the way up through college grad, retirees, and industry. Okay. In fact, registration is open right now on our website, SmallSatEducation'24.
Correct.
Thank you, sir. .org. And as an added bonus, anyone who attends, since we're doing it currently at the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Center, Astronaut Memorial Foundation Center for Space Education, attendees get free access to the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex.
Fantastic. And for you, I'll let you wrap it up here. We've given you the website, and we'll make it easy. We're going to post it on this story on WESH.com. Just give us a couple minutes after the show's over with, and we'll make that easy for you. But what is it that you hope young people, adults alike, anybody who comes to the conference, what do you hope they take away from this?
The purpose of our conference is to inform, especially pre-college teachers and educators and administrators, and give them some information and inspire them, because the space sector is booming here on the Space Coast, and we have lots of jobs that we need to fill, and these are good paying jobs. We need students to start out as young as 10 or 11 and start thinking about this kind of career. So our conference is sort of inspirational, informative, and we have a lot of university teams that come and present their satellite work.
That is just awesome. Kevin Johnson, Kevin Simmons, thank you both for being with us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, and best on that event there with the big SmallSat Education Conference. A big conference for a little satellite.